Hey there, I'm Tanmay and welcome to my first YouTube crochet video. So, a little bit about myself. I have loved DIY projects ever since I was a little kid, and along the way, my mom taught me how to crochet. Since then, I've come to the realization that if you can imagine it, you can crochet it. From cute tops to cardigans, accessories, and even your everyday essentials. If it is something that you can imagine and picture, I am sure there's a crochet version for it. So, together, we're going to be doing a lot of such projects and follow along and let's get crocheting. So I'm kind of a person who likes all my stuff to be extremely organized, be it my makeup products, my craft supplies, my stationeries, all of it. I want them to be extremely organized. And instead of buying these organizers, we are going to crochet them. So in this video, we are going to be crocheting a variety of organizers or containers that you can use to store your stuff. So please do not skip any part since I will be telling you how exactly to customize them based on your requirements. If you want them smaller, bigger, the shape, the size, all of it can be customized. Just make sure not to skip any part of it to know how to do the customization. So let's get crocheting. So guys, just to give a little bit brief about the kind of organizers that we're going to be crocheting. These are the four kinds, but you can make so many more varieties with this. Like this one is a rectangular shaped one, but the basic idea of it is to build up on this particular panel, and this particular panel can be of any size. You can make it a square, you can make it maybe wider, you can make it longer. So this one type of organizer you can crochet to store variety of things. The next one is this really cute flower tray. So for this flower tray and for this particular like a pen stand, the base is the same. So the circle that we are going to be doing is the same that I'll be showing you how to do. It's basically just increase rounds, and once you're done with the circle, you can build up to either a flower or a pen stand or a basket as well. So let me just show you the basket also. Yeah, so here I have the basket as well. So basically this basket, this flower tray and the pen stand or pen holder, they basically follow the same circular pattern of increase rounds, and then from there you can build up into either a pen holder, a flower or a basket. So since the base of all these three is same, I'll be showing that together. And after that, how to build up into either one of this, I'll also be explaining that in detail. One thing to add about the basket and the pen stand is that the only difference in these two is the height that you build them up to be and the size of the circle that you choose. These circles are basically rounds of increase half double crochets. So whatever size, if you choose a bigger size and make the sides a little smaller, it turns out to be a basket. But if you choose a smaller diameter and make the sides a little longer, it turns out to be a pen holder. The last one that we have is basically a heart-shaped tray. Again, you can make the shape of the tray as big as you like, and then you can just build it up from there. So these are the different types of organizers that we're going to be crocheting. So we're gonna get started with the circle base, and to start off with the circular base, we have to make a magic ring. There are many ways to make a magic ring, but the one that I follow is that you basically take this end, that's the end of the yarn, and wrap it over your finger like this, and just hold it with your thumb like this. So basically, take it over to your two of your fingers and hold it with the thumb. Now what you do, you take the long side of the yarn and you basically make a X. Okay, so you have the long side of your yarn and you make a X. Then what you do is you basically insert your hook and yarn over the second one, this one that you guys can see. Just yarn over and keep it there. Okay, and then you get this, and then you hold it like this. Make sure you don't tighten off the circle is where you're going to continue crocheting. So hold it like this and and just chain 1. So this is your magic ring. Okay, let me just show you guys how to do it once again. Take the shorter end or the end and wrap it over your 2 fingers like this. Try to make this a little long, not too long, but just a little long would be good. Okay, and then you take the longer side of the yarn and make a X like this. Then you use your hook and you basically go into the space and pull out the second yarn like this. Okay, then you hold on to the yarn on your hook, take out the longer side and yarn over. Okay, so this is how it's done. Another way to do it is using chain. So you basically make a slip knot. So this to make a slip knot, take a circle, make a X, get in here, yarn over, and then just pull. And then you pull it to tighten over your hook. And then say you chain 5. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Then what you do is you make a slip stitch in the first chain. So you basically make a slip stitch in the first chain, and this right here in this tiny little space is where you're going to continue crocheting. But we're gonna follow the other one. This is just in case you find this one too confusing and you find the chain one better, then you can go with that. So there you go. Take the shorter side, keep it like this, make a X, insert your hook into the space, pull out the yarn like this. Just hold it there. Don't tighten it, don't loosen it, don't do anything, and just do one chain. There you go. Okay, so now to start off the circular base, first we are gonna chain 2. Okay, so there's my chain 2. And now we're gonna do half double crochets in this space. So you basically yarn over, insert your hook into this space, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all, right? So we are gonna be doing 12 half double crochets. So this is 1. So once you're done with the 12 half double crochets, this is how it is going to look. So now what we're gonna do is this tiny little strand right here, we're just gonna pull this. So when you pull it, you can kind of see it forming a circle, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull this real tight. Okay, and make sure that there's no gap or there's no space in between over here, right here. Okay, so just pull it on real tight, and we're gonna do a slip stitch into the chain 2 space. You remember the chain 2 that we did in the starting? You're just gonna slip stitch into that space to close off the loop. So this is basically how it's gonna look after you're done with round 1. And now we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and then now what we're gonna do, half double crochets, increase. You know what increase is basically is that increase, that is into each stitch you're gonna do 2 half double crochets. So you yarn over, insert your hook into this stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all. So now we're gonna do another half double crochet into the same stitch that we did before. So this is basically an increase. So now we're going to do this all around, and since we have 12 stitches on our round 1, we will be doing an increase on every stitch in round 2. We'll be getting 24 stitches by the end of round 2. So like I said, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through all, and then do another half double crochet into the same stitch. So now as you can see, we are at the end of our round 2, and to close off the round 2, we are going to do a slip stitch in the chain 2 space that we did in the starting, and this is how it's going to look. Once we are done with round 2, we're going to start off with round 3. So first we're going to do chain 2. So after the chain 2 over here, what we're going to do is we're going to do a half double crochet in the first stitch. So yarn over, pull through and pull through all three. So we're just going to do one half double crochet, and then in the next stitch we're going to be doing an increase. So yarn over, pull through all two, yarn over, insert it in the same stitch, pull. So we're basically going to be following the same pattern. So we're going to have one half double crochet in the first stitch, then an increase in the second stitch. So one half double crochet and an increase. So we're going to be doing this for the entire row 3. So by the end of row 3, we'll be having 36 stitches. So as you guys can see that I'm done with my row 3 over here, and I'm just gonna slip stitch into the chain 2 space right over here. And right around this time is I think when it gets starts to get a little confusing on where your next row is starting and the previous row is ending, so it all kind of blends in. So we're going to be using this cute little clip as a stitch marker, because obviously anything and everything becomes a stitch marker. So just put it into one and keep it there, right? So now for the next row, that is row 4, we're going to be chaining 2, and after the chain 2, we're going to be yarning over, inserting our hook into the first stitch and doing a half double crochet. So like for row 3, how we did one half double crochet and then an increase, for row 4 we're going to be doing 2 half double crochets. So stitch 1 half double crochet, stitch 2 half double crochet, and then stitch 3 is going to be a increase. So there you go. So now we're going to follow the same pattern. Stitch 1 is a 1 half double crochet, stitch 2 is another half double crochet, and stitch 3 is going to be an increase. So there you go. So now we're going to continue this all around row 4, and I'll meet you when I reach this cute little clip. So as you guys can see, I have reached my cute little clip and I just have one more stitch to go. So we're gonna take out our stitch marker and we're gonna finish our final stitch. And then, like the previous rows, we are gonna insert a slip stitch into the chain space and finish off with row 4. So now for the next rows, it's all going to follow the same pattern. So now like for row 4, we did 2 half double crochets and an increase. For row 5, first we're going to chain 2. And then for row 5, we're going to do 3 half double crochets and an increase. So row 4 had 2 half double crochets and then an increase. Row 5 is going to have 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3 half double crochets, and then a increase. And let's not forget to put our cute little stitch marker back in its place. So as you guys can see, I have reached my cute little clip and I am going to do a slip knot in the chain space. And this is how the base of our first organizer is going to look like. Now this circle organizer, so this is the size of the base that I want. Okay, if you want to increase the size of your base, then what you do is you simply increase the number of half double crochets, the single half double crochets. Like how we had 3 for this row. If you want to continue for the next row, you will be having 4 half double crochets and then an increase. And similarly, you keep doing this. So for the next row, you will have 5 half double crochets in each of the stitches and then a increase in the 6th stitch. And then you keep doing this until you reach the size of the base that you want. This is the size of the base that I want because I want to make it somewhat like a lip gloss or a lip balm stand. So this is the size that I am going for. And now I will be building up on this. So to build up on this, what we're going to do is first we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do a half double crochet all around, but we're going to be doing it in the front loop only. So I hope you guys can see. So this right here, this one, this is the back loop. Okay. So we are going to be doing the half double crochets in the front loop only. So the first row after you complete your base is basically doing half double crochets all around only in the front row. So yarn over, insert your hook only into the front loop. See, normally we would be inserting our hook like this, but for this we are going to be inserting in the front loop only, yarn over, pull through. So this is how it's going to look. Try to keep your stitches as tight as possible for the base as well as for the sides. So the organizer or the stand will have somewhat of a sturdy look. So yarn over, insert into the front loop only, yarn over and pull through. So we keep doing this in every stitch all around our base until we reach back. So we're going to use our stitch marker yet again and just insert it over here. Okay. So yarn over, insert in front loop only and keep doing this until you reach back. Oops. Sorry. There you go. So now you can see that if you keep the base straight like this, you can see that there's like a tiny little bulge over here, right? So this is what we wanted. We want the organizer to kind of start now it's actually curling up, but building up a little bit so that we get the sides perfectly, right? So this is how it's gonna look. So as you can see, I have approached our cute clip and I just have one more stitch to go. So I'm just gonna get done with that. Oops. Yeah, there you go. Take off a stitch marker and I'm going to slip knot in the chain space of the two that we changed. So this is how it's gonna look, right? As you can see, there's like quite a little bulging up over here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna chain two, one, two, and now we're gonna be doing half double crochets all around normally, not in the front loop only. Because see, now if you do it in the front loop only, it's gonna bulge up, it's gonna start curling up, and then after a point, you will basically have a I don't know, a closed box. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do half double crochets, but we're gonna do them normally. So we insert the hook completely into the stitch, like how we would normally do, yarn over and pull through. So now we're gonna keep doing this. Please don't forget the stitch marker. And then we're gonna keep doing this all around and make sure to do a slip knot whenever you reach the end and do as many rows as you feel like depending on the height that you want. So if you see for this one, I think I've done around 4 rows, but this yarn is extremely thick. So 4 rows also looks really huge. But if you look at this one, I've just done 3 rows, but I wanted the organizer to just have a little of the walls and not all of it. So depending on the height of your organizer that you want, so you can do half double crochets all around and keep doing these rows the same half double crochet all around till you reach the flower. And once you reach the height that you want for your organizer, you can just stop. So I'll meet you once I'm done with all the rows. So as you can see, I am done with the organizer. I have done around 7 rows. I'm just gonna slip stitch into the last, the chain space, chain one and pull out the yarn. Okay. So this is how the organizer looks in the end. And there we are done with the first type. So, like I mentioned before, the base for the circular organizer and the flower one is the same, that is this circle. So, I have crocheted this base now, and I want this flower organizer to be a little smaller one. So, it's gonna have, I think, around 6 petals at max, and those are also gonna be very small. So for the flower organizer, I have crocheted 10 half double crochets into the magic ring instead of 12, because we want the number of stitches on our rows to be a multiple of 5. So I feel like the easiest way to do that would be to crochet 10. So you will have 10 on your first row, 20 on your second, and on your last, on the third row, you'll have a total of 30 stitches. And you can keep doing this for as big as you want the base to be. But for this one, I want the base to be just this big because I want it to be a smaller one. So now what we are going to do is we are going to chain 2. So after the chain 2, we are going to be doing a double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then through the other 2. Next, we are going to be doing a triple crochet. So for a triple crochet, we yarn over 2 times, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, pull through 2, and pull through the other 2. Now we're going to do another triple crochet in the same stitch. So yarn over twice, and then into the same stitch, we do a triple crochet. So we pull through, and then we pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. So the first stitch we did a double crochet, the second stitch we did a triple crochet increase. Now in the third stitch we are going to do a double triple crochet. So now what this is basically that for a triple crochet you yarn over twice, right? So for a double triple crochet you're going to yarn over 3 times. Okay, and then you insert the hook into the next stitch and yarn over and pull through. So there you go. As you can see, it's a little longer. Now in the same stitch, we are going to do 2 more of these stitches. So it's basically yarn over 3 times, insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to do one more. So in the same stitch, we're going to have 3 of the double triple crochets. So this is the third one. And we're done. So in the next stitch, we're going to have 2 triple crochets, or what we call a triple crochet increase. There goes the second one. And then we're going to do a double crochet. So this, as you can see, looks like a petal. Yes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So we get the ending as well. And this is how the petal looks like. Now after we are done with the slip stitch, we are going to chain 2. Now this chain 2 is considered as our first double crochet. And in the next stitch, we are going to do a triple crochet increase. So the chain 2 that we did is basically considered as our double crochet. And the next stitch is a triple crochet increase. And then after this, we're going to be doing 3 double triple crochets into the same stitch. So let me just show you one more time. We yarn over 3 times. We insert our hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2, and the last 2. So now we are going to basically be following the same pattern. So we did a chain 2, we did a triple crochet increase. Now we're going to be doing 3 double triple crochets into the same stitch. So that's 2, and that's 3. Then we're going to be doing a triple crochet increase again. So 1, 2, and end it off with a double crochet and a slip stitch. So as you can see, this is how the petals look like. And we're going to be doing this for the entire row. So I'll meet you back once we're done. So here I'm done with the flower shape, and this is how it looks in the end. And now we are gonna do the part that's gonna build up to make it an organizer. So what we are going to do is, it's actually really similar to what we did for the circular organizer. We're gonna chain 2 at the end, and then we're gonna do half double crochet all along in the front loop only. So starting from here, yarn over, insert the hook in the front loop, yarn over and pull through, and over and pull through all. So we keep doing this all over the flower, and after a while you will see the same bulge that you did for the circular organizer over here as well. So just keep doing this in the front loop only, and when you keep it down you can see that there's a bulge over here. So then you're going to follow the same pattern. We're going to do half double crochet in the front loops only all across, and then when we reach this point, again we're going to do half double crochet, but this time we're going to do it normally and not in the front loops. And you're going to build up the organizer to whatever height you want it to be, and I will show you how it looks after the first row is done. So now as you can see, I'm approaching the end of the petal. So we want to keep the shape of the petal when we are moving forward, right? So what we're going to do is I've reached this stitch right here, and now this is the end of the petal. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to slip stitch into the space right here like this. And then I'm going to continue with the half double crochets in the front loop only. There you go. So every time you reach the end of a petal, you just have to do a slip stitch into the previous row's slip stitch. When we come to the second row and we reach this point, we slip stitch into the previous slip stitch. I will show you how that is done as well. First, let us finish the first row. So as you can see, I am at the last petal, end of my last petal, and you can see how nicely this is bulged up to the shape. One thing to remember that is very important to keep the shape of the flower is that you have to remember to slip stitch after every petal. So as you can see, I'm almost done with this petal, and then I am going to slip stitch in this gap right here. Okay, and now we're going to start with our row 2. So for the row 2, I am first going to slip stitch into the chain space, just like this it's going to be. And I'm going to be chaining 2. And now we're going to do half double crochet all along. So as you can see, I have reached the end of the first petal in the row 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slip stitch right here in this gap. I hope you can see it in this gap right here. I'm gonna do a slip stitch, and then I'm gonna continue doing half double crochets all along, and you can keep doing this until you reach the desired height. So as you can see, the bulge up is nice and it kind of maintains the shape of the petal as well. So you can just keep doing this. So this is how it looks when I'm done with 4 petals, and I have 2 more to go. You have to remember to make the slip stitch, because trust me, that is what makes the difference. I'm not going to crochet too many rows for this because I kind of want it to look small and cute on the bedside table. So this is my second row, and I'm just going to cut off here. But if you want it to be longer, you can keep crocheting more rows. So I'm just going to take the scissors and cut it off right here. So this is how it looks after I'm done. The key to getting the shape is the slip stitches, so you get the end of the petal well, right? So here we are done with the flower organizer as well. So now since we are done with the circular shape and the flower shape, now we are going to be crocheting the heart shape. And we are going to start off with the magic ring. So the smaller end or the end of the yarn is kept like this. The longer end, we make a cross. We insert the hook, pull out the second strand, just pull it out and hold it there. And we chain two. So now since we are done with this, we're going to be crocheting the first row of the heart. So first we're going to be doing 3 triple crochets. So yarn over twice, insert the hook, pull up a loop and pull through 2 loops at a time. Yarn over twice, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and here we are done with the second one. Yarn over twice, and now we are done with the third one as well. Next up, we're gonna do 4 double crochets. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you're done with the 4 double crochets, we are going to be doing 1 triple crochet. So there you go. 1 triple crochet. After that, we are going to be doing 4 double crochets again. So one, and 4. Now, since we are done with this, we are going to be doing 3 triple crochets. Once you're done with the 3 triple crochets, we're just gonna chain 2 and we're gonna slip stitch into the magic ring, just like this. Once we are done with this, we are going to take the shorter end of the yarn, that is this one, and pull it tight. So just pull it as tight as you can and try to make sure that there's no space in the center. There you go. So once you're done with this, we are going to slip stitch into the chain space of the 2 right here. So this chain 2, the space that we have right here, we are going to slip stitch here. And then next we are going to do 2 half double crochets and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet, and then insert your hook again into the same stitch, the second half double crochet, and insert your hook again into the same stitch and a double crochet. After this, we're going to do 3 double crochets in the next stitch. So insert your hook in the second stitch, double crochet, in the same stitch, another double crochet, oops, another double crochet, and the next double crochet again in the same stitch. After this, we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So 1 and 2. Next up, we are going to do 4 double crochets across 4 stitches. So 1 double crochet in each stitch 4 times. So that's 1. Then in the next stitch, we are going to do another double crochet, 2, then 3, and 4. Now, once we are done with this, we are going to do a double crochet, then a triple, and then a double in the same stitch. So yarn over, a double crochet, Then in the same stitch, a triple crochet and a double again in the same stitch. So this is how it's gonna look. And after this, we are going to be doing 4 double crochets across 4 stitches. So 1 double crochet in each stitch 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and oops, 3 and 4. Once we are done with this, we are going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So 1 in the same and 2 in the same. Once we are done with this also, we are going to do 3 double crochets in the same stitch. Once you are done with the 3 double crochets, in the last stitch, we are going to have 1 double crochet and 2 half double crochets. So here we are done with the second row as well. We are just gonna finish it off with a slip stitch in the chain space. So the chain space that we have right here, we're just gonna finish it off with a slip stitch. There you go. This is how it's gonna look after the end of the second row. Now for the third row, we are going to slip stitch in the first stitch. Then we are going to be doing a single crochet in the second stitch. Once we are done with the single crochet, we are going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So 1 in the next and 1 and then the second one in the same stitch. After that, we have 3 double crochets in the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3. Once you're done with the 3 double crochets in the same stitch, we are going to have 2 double crochets. That is a double crochet increase basically 3 times. So the first increase, second increase, and the third increase. So basically 3 stitches and 3 double crochet increases. Once you're done with that, we have 5 double crochets across 5 stitches. So 1 double crochet in each stitch. We repeat that 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once you're done with this, we are going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. And then in the next stitch, we are going to do a double crochet and a triple crochet in the same stitch and a double again in the same stitch. So this is how it's going to look when we are halfway through with the third row. After this, we are going to be doing 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2 in the same stitch. Now, so once you're done with this, we are going to do 5 double crochets across 5 stitches. That is 1 double crochet in each stitch. And we repeat that 5 times. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. After you're done with that, we do a double crochet increase and repeat it 3 times. So the first increase, then the second increase, and then the third increase. Once you are done with this, we are going to do 3 double crochets in the next stitch. So that's 1, 2, and 3 in the same stitch. And then we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, or a half double crochet increase. And then we're going to do a single crochet and slip stitch. So this is how it looks after the third row is done. And we have one more row to go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch like the previous one into the chain space, slip stitch. Once you're done with the slip stitch, we are going to do 2 single crochets across 2 stitches. So single crochet in the first stitch and another single crochet in the second stitch. So once you're done with 2 single crochets, we are going to do 2 single crochets, but this time in the same stitch. So, oops, single crochets. So 1 single crochet, a single crochet increase. So that's 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then we are going to do half double crochet in the next stitch and a half double crochet increase in the next stitch. So that's 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Now we're going to repeat these 2 stitches for another 3 times. So it's half double crochet, half double crochet increase. That's the second time, half double crochet and half double crochet increase. So that's the third time. And then half double crochet and an increase. So we're done with the 4 times. Then we're going to do 9 half double crochets across 9 stitches. So half double crochet for the next 9 stitches, 1 per stitch. So now we are done with the 9 half double crochets across the 9 stitches, and we have reached halfway through. Now we are going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch and a double crochet in the same stitch and then another half double crochet. So a half double crochet, double crochet and a half double crochet in the same stitch. Next we are going to do 9 half double crochets across 9 stitches. So 1, 2. So we are done with the 9 half double crochets across 9 stitches. And next we have to do the half double crochet increase. So that's 1 and 2 and then a half double crochet, and repeat these 2 stitches for another 3 times. Here we have the third time. And we are done with the fourth time as well. After you're done with that pattern, we do a single crochet increase. So that's 1 and 2. And then we do 2 single crochets in 2 stitches. So the first stitch and second stitch, and then we do a slip stitch. And here we are done with the base of our heart. So once we are done with the base, for us to start building up the organizer, we have to do half double crochets all along the front loop only for the first row. The one thing different about the heart organizer is when you reach the 27th stitch. So the 27th stitch will be somewhere around here. You will have to do an increase. So when you reach the 27th stitch, you will have to do an increase of half double crochets in that particular stitch. So I will meet you at the 27th stitch and show it to you. So just keep a track of your stitches. So now I have reached the 25th stitch. So I'm gonna do 2 more stitches. That's 26. And in the 27th stitch, front loop, I do a half double crochet and then I do another half double crochet in the same stitch. So this is how it's gonna look when you're halfway done. You see it building up. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna continue, and then when for the second row, you're just gonna do half double crochets all along, and you can continue doing this till you reach the desired height of the organizer. So now here I'm done with the first row of building it up. And remember to do a slip stitch when you reach this point to make sure that the shape of the heart stays as it is. And then now we're just gonna chain one and continue doing half double crochets all along till you reach a desired height. Like the number of rows that you want to do is up to you. So keep doing it until you reach the height that you want. So this is how the heart-shaped tray is gonna look once you're done. And I just wanted the height to be really small, so I've just done 2 rows. But if you want it to be a little longer, you can do more rows. Once you're done, you can just chain one, fasten off, and here we are done with the heart-shaped tray as well. So to start off, we are going to be making a slip knot. So for a slip knot, we just have to make a loop like this. Okay, insert our finger and pull over the longer strand of the yarn. Make sure to hold the smaller yarn and just pull. Okay, so let me show that again. What we're basically gonna do is just make a circle like this with the short strand of the yarn on the top, like this. Then we are just gonna insert our fingers from the back and pull over the longer strand of yarn. Make sure to hold the shorter one with your other hand and just pull. Okay, another way to make a slip knot is similar to a magic ring. So hold your shorter side of the yarn or the end of the yarn like this. Hold up the longer side like this and make a X. Once you're done, insert your hook and pull through the second strand of yarn, that is this one. Just pull through and hold both the strands and just pull it like this. And then you just make sure to tighten it off. Now what we are going to do is we are going to chain the length of our organizer. So depending on how long I want my organizer to be, I'm going to be doing those many chains. So for a chain, we yarn over and pull through the loop. Yarn over, pull through the loop. So for the length of the organizer that I want, I will be chaining around 25 because I don't want this organizer to be too long. So I'll meet you once I'm done with my 25 chains. So as you can see, I'm done with my 25 chains, and this here is gonna be the length of my organizer. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna chain 2 extra. After the 25, I did 2 extra. So whatever the length of your organizer you want, do that and then chain 2. Once you're done with the chain 2, yarn over and insert your hook in the third chain from your hook. So you basically have 1, 2, and then this third chain right here, you insert your hook into that, yarn over and pull through, and then you do a half double crochet. So this is how it's gonna look. So you yarn over, insert your hook, and then we do a half double crochet. Now we are going to be doing half double crochets all along this chain, and we are going to keep doing the same row till we reach our desired width of the organizer. So I think I am going to be doing around 6 rows because 6 rows would be somehow this much, and I don't want my organizer to be too big, like I said. So we are basically gonna continue doing this all along till we reach the end, and then we're gonna chain 2, turn our work, and then keep doing half double crochets till we reach our desired number of rows. So just for an example here, the chain that I did, the 25 chain, is going to determine the length of the organizer, that is this. and the number of rows that I do are going to determine the width of the organizer. So I can do as many rows and as many chains I want depending on how big I want the box to be. Right, so now I'm gonna finish this row of half double crochets. So here, as you can see, I'm at the end of the first row. I just have one more stitch left. And once I'm done with this, I'm going to chain two again, yarn over, turn my work and insert the hook in the first stitch and do half double crochets. Now, exactly like the first row, I'm going to keep doing rows until I reach my desired width of the organizer, and I'll meet you back when I'm done. So as you guys can see, I'm done with my rows. I've done 7 rows and this is the width of the organizer that I want. And after I'm done with all my rows, I'm just gonna chain 2. So to start building up the sides, we are basically gonna do half double crochet all along the 4 sides of this panel. So first we're going to be doing half double crochets all along this side in the front loop only. So how that is done is basically, you can see that there are 2 loops here, right? So this is, oops, never mind. So this right here is the back loop and this is the front loop. This can be a little hard to get into because this is not exactly a proper stitch, since this is the width of our organizer and these are basically rows and not stitches as such. So this will be a little hard to get into the front loop only. So if you can see, this right here is the back loop and this is the front loop. So I yarn over, insert my hook in the front loop, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all. So there is my first stitch. So next I'm going to do yarn over. Now in this, as you can see, the front loop is not that evidently visible, but there is one. You just have to kind of separate the yarn. So you can either use your fingers, or for me, I'm comfortable using the back of my hook because it has this little pointy end. So if you can see, there is basically a gap right here. Okay, and this right here is the front loop. So what you can do is you yarn over. Again, insert the hook in the front loop only. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all. Right? So you can see that it's building up a little, but it's gonna take a little while. So again, yarn over. You can see this right here is the front loop. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all. So again, we do the same thing. Let me just show you once again. Okay, so yeah, this right here is the back loop. This is the front loop. You can maybe use a needle, or if the back of your hook is pointy like mine, that works well for me. So now we're going to be doing this all across this particular side, and I'll meet you once I'm done with this. So I'm done with this side, and as you can see that there's a little bulge up, and now I'm going to be doing this particular side. So when you reach the corner, what you're going to do is you're going to do chain 1, and then you're going to yarn over, and then again you're going to find the front loop of the next side, yarn over and do a half double crochet. So just remember to chain 1 so that the gap, the shape is maintained. Otherwise, it will just start curling up, and by the end of maybe your second or third row, the edges of the panel are gonna look kind of circular. So it's always better to do a chain 1 for the first row only. So here we do a chain 1 and then we do the half double crochet. Now we can just continue doing half double crochets all along in the front loop only. So in this side, the front loop is basically just, yeah, this one. This one right here. So you can just yarn over, insert your hook and do a half double crochet. So do this till you reach the end of this side as well. So here I'm done with this particular side as well. And you can see that the chain one makes a big difference in the shape of the organizer. So now since I've reached the edge over here as well, I'm going to chain one, yarn over, and again front loop only, gonna do half double crochets all along this side as well. So just remember to do it in the front loop. Do not forget the chain one as well. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So as you can see that there's a little bit of a build up here, but we'll have to do more rows for it to actually be sturdy to store things. Now after the chain two, we're just gonna yarn over and do half double crochets all along. This time we're gonna do them normally. There's not gonna be any chain one or anything at the end. You're just gonna keep doing half double crochets in all the stitches all along the sides, and just do as many rows as you wish. So if you see right here, I've done around 8 rows here, and this is how the height of the organizer looks like. So depending on what height you want the organizer to look like, you can just do those many rows. So here I'm done with all my rows to build up the organizer, and I've done 5 rows. So here I'm gonna just fasten off, and this is how the organizer looks in the end.